Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Alex, and I'm here today to bring you another news roundup of all things Manchester United. And we've got a lot of transfer stuff to go through. Obviously, you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the Donny van der Beek and Erling Haaland story. We'll be getting that straight away. We've also got stuff on Eric Bailly, as well as a couple of our players going on international duty. And also, make sure you are getting your questions in throughout the show. We'll get through them and we will have a bit of a chat about all things Manchester United and mainly these transfer news this morning. And we're going to start, obviously, with Erling Haaland and this story. Now, this is from the Express. Now, look, this horrendous article this morning, I'm not going to lie, this horrendous article, which the plug is like, okay, Manchester United need a striker. We want Erling Haaland, the best striker in the world currently, or the best up-and-coming striker in the world. Clearly, massively, he's the best up-and-coming striker you've seen there. 21 games played, 21 goals, 4 assists. Unbelievable talent, valued at over £100 million. Manchester United, obviously interested. Manchester United, in recent years, don't spend that much cash unless they are absolutely desperate, unless they are 6th, 7th place in the Premier League, and then all of a sudden they have cash to spend. Manchester United don't spend that much money. So what's the next best thing to do? Tell you what we'll do. Let's link the player that hasn't really played that much for Manchester United this season, our new transfer, Donny van der Beek. Let's link him to go the other way. That's what they've done. They've taken those two things. They took a clip of Donny van der Beek walking off in the week, just tapping Bruno on the shoulder, saying that's a controversy. And that's do you know what? This is something. He's tapped him on the shoulder, telling him that he's shit and he can't do it. That's essentially what they've started doing. They've said that but it's absolute nonsense. Donny van der Beek, obviously, not had the best of seasons for Manchester United, not really got a run of games, not really done too much in a Manchester United shirt. Now, there's all sorts of things saying, is it Ollie's fault? Is Ollie not giving him a chance? Is it down to fitness? Is it down to the fact he doesn't fit the system? Has he been signed as a backup? Did Ollie really want him? There's all these questions, but here's the first thing. Give him a little bit of time. He's only played 13 games this season. He had a massive layoff. He didn't play from March until he played that pre-season game against Aston Villa. Absolutely very little bit of football for Donny van der Beek. He then got thrown in at the deep end with Manchester United into a team that maybe people have said doesn't really fit his system and been asked to perform, and he's not done that as of yet. He hasn't really performed, but there are things saying he does look a very good player. Do I think that we're going to get rid of Donny van der Beek? Do I think, look, here's the first thing. If Haaland came on the table and they said, we want Donny van der Beek, I think for Manchester United, that's a fantastic bit of business. I think that would be brilliant. I think Donny van der Beek is a very good footballer. I'd love to see him stay at Old Trafford and do very well, and I think that he probably will. But if Dortmund came to Manchester United and said those things, said, look, give us 70 million quid and Donny van der Beek, that Erling Haaland lad's yours, you take it. You have to take that kind of deal. You don't look at that. Donny van der Beek is a very good player, but Erling Haaland is being talked about and looks like potentially the successor to Messi and Ronaldo kind of thing in terms of numbers. He's looking like that kind of player. He's looking like that player that is going to threaten all sorts of goal-scoring records, threaten Ronaldo's goal-scoring records, threaten all these different things. If you have the chance to get him, you have to get him. Because, look, whether we have a poor summer or a good summer, whether we sign 4 players or just one, I think that this fits. But I honestly don't think that'll be the case. I don't think that Manchester United are going to let Donny van der Beek go. I think that Ollie wants to bed him in. I think he wants a pre-season with him. I think he wants to get his fitness up. I think he wants to see how he can fit into the team in a different way. I seen a stat the other day. In terms of the average time in between games that Ollie's had to work on the training ground on things since the start of this season, it's 1.5 days. Now, that isn't an excuse in terms of how well you can play and how well in terms of you can recover and get fitness. All teams have had to do the same thing. But you've looked at a lot of the teams this season. They're playing the same way as last season. They've not done major changes in the way they've played. And you can't do that with 1.5 days rest. And I think that has been one of the major things this season. Look, this article this morning in the Express is just picking a player that's out of form for Manchester United, a player that's in form and everyone's doing. That would be a great swap deal. That would work. They want to get Manchester United into articles. They want to get Erling Haaland into articles. And Donny van der Beek, they want to get into articles at this moment as well. And that is the problem. So, look, Do I think this will happen? No. Do I think if this was put on the table, United should do it? Absolutely. Erling Haaland will be one of those players, and I'm sad that there's a very good chance he's going to go to Manchester City. You have to do that bit of business if that comes around. But at this moment in time, I don't see that happening. Donny van der Beek, I'm hoping he gets a pre-season. I'm hoping he gets fit. I'm hoping he gets to play, get some more rhythm into the system and manages to play, because I think he's a very, very good footballer. He showed that. I actually showed glimpse of it this season. But at this moment in time, look, let him bed in. I think Ollie's gone for the safe options this season. I think you have to understand that a little bit without the pre-season and stuff like that. You know, look, Pep's gone for the safe options a lot of the time this season. The thing with him is he had title winning squads, and it worked. That is the difference this season. But anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Moving on from that, this was the big story yesterday. This was all the stuff that came out. Started with Sky Sports, and this is around Eric Bailly. There's been talk around Eric Bailly's new contract yesterday, and he said, this was Bailly's friend talking to Sky Sports News. Eric loves the club and the fans. His family is settled in Manchester, and he'd like nothing more than to spend the rest of his career at Old Trafford. But he feels the club has been disrespectful towards him, and frankly, he's had enough. He feels there's no matter what he does, he will never be first choice. He now realises he's too good and too young to spend his time sitting on the bench. The next thing is, he also mentions that he thinks that Manchester United are just trying to get him a new contract to get more of a fee out of him for this summer or the summer after that. It's a strange situation with Eric Bailly. This was then confirmed. There's a bit more this on Twitter slightly just after that. Jonathan Schrager, who his transfer news isn't always bang on, but his leaks of the team has done very well this season. I think he's got it bang on every single time this season. So he says, the stuff on Eric Bailly is unfortunately true. I was told a few weeks ago. I hoped it would improve, but it has not. I understand all sides, the players' frustration, but also the club and staff's position. I hope it can be resolved, but it started to feel unlikely at this moment. He then goes on to say a couple of hours later, I'm told there remains a good chance that Bailly could renew his contract if he can receive some assurances about first team opportunities. Again, strange one with Eric Bailly. Look, you've seen this season, he's a very, very talented footballer and potentially our best, or at least our second best centre-half. You know, he looks a better footballer than Victor Lindelof. He's obviously more athletic than both of them. Steve talks about this all the time. He has that defensive instinct that I don't think a lot of our defenders have. And look, there's been times when people go, why is he on the bench again? But then a week later, he gets into a car crash and he's injured again. And he's been like that the whole way through his United career. He's had little times in his team. When Ollie first came in, he had a very, very good run in the team. He then moved on. He then played in the Bournemouth game. We were 3-1 up, I believe. He gets sent off for a stupid tackle, and that was him out for 3 games. And it just seems like there's always been something happening, whether it be discipline or whether it be injuries, that's kept Eric Bailly out of the team. Now, look, do I think he's better than Victor Lindelof? Yes. Do I think Victor Lindelof is that much worse than him? No. I think he's played some very good games this season. I think Victor Lindelof, in the games where we've sat back, is potentially a better option. He plays the ball forward very well. Victor Lindelof has a little bit more about him in terms of that long switch, that long pass. But look, Eric Bailly, I'd love to see him stay, but at the same time, I'm not too fussed about it. We need to not be too fussed about it. You know, if Eric Bailly wants to go and play somewhere else, then great. I don't think he's going to change and all of a sudden become the number one centre back. Do I think he's all of a sudden be able to play 50 games a season? I don't think that's the case anymore. I think he's had those chances. He's getting to the peak of his career and he can't manage to play 50 games. He can't manage to stay in the team. He can't manage to stay fit. And it's a very big worry. Ronaldo uses it all the time. It's a horrendous cliche, but one of the best abilities is availability. And that's what Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof have more than anyone else. Guys, I will get to your comments very shortly. Let's have a quick look at some of those now. There's a couple saying bye-bye, Eric. Look, I like Eric Bailly. I really, really want him to stay. But at the same time, if he can't stay fit, he can't stay at Manchester United. You know, there's no point having a player that can play 20 games a season. There's no point having that kind of player, because this is the problem with Manchester United, is that we've got some of these fantastic footballers that can't stay fit. We've got players that aren't that good that stay fit, and this is the kind of compromise that Ollie's got to make at the minute. Do I work with someone that may not be quite good enough, but can play 50 games a season for me, and I know what I'm going to get from them, because I think that that's been the case a lot with Ollie's thinking. I know what I'm going to get from these players. Now, I think he wants to move on. I think he wants better footballers, but he needs players that can play. He needs players that are fit. Let's have a look at... Yes, there was an article this morning on the BBC about Paddock FC. If you've not already seen that, have a check out of that. It also mentions the fan channel a little bit towards the end, so have a read of that. It's all over socials this morning, so have a look over on Twitter. Steve's tweeted all about it. How much do you think we get from... Are we looking at another swap deal? I think if you're talking in terms of Eric Bailly, it's a strange one. I think he's only got a year left on his contract, 18 months left on his contract. I mean, 25, 30 minutes, we'd be lucky to get our money back for him. Maybe it's a part of a swap deal. Maybe it's we get lucky. I think there could be a lot of that this summer. I think there's not going to be a lot of cash flowing around, especially in the lower down teams. So I think maybe it'll be a swap deal. Maybe it's looking at who needs a centre-half and move on. Let's have a look. There are rumours of Kane to United. Anything in this? Kane's one's a strange one. I think that, look, Ollie's mentioned Haaland. He wants a centre-forward. I think that this is one of the things he wants this summer. He wants four. The problem is we need 4 players, and I think that he has to make a decision which marquee signing he wants. I think the only way he gets 2 marquee signings of 80, 90 million plus is if we sell someone like Paul Pogba, which I don't think is the right thing to do. But that's the only way of doing it. Harry Kane, look, you know how Daniel Levy works. You know, he did things with Bale. He went, look, I want a world record fee, and he'll want 120 million for Harry Kane. Do I think that Harry Kane walks into Manchester United team and improves us? Absolutely. He'd be fantastic for Manchester United. Harry Kane would be brilliant for Manchester United. Do I think Manchester United are going to pay £120 million? I don't think so. I don't think they are. I don't think they're going to pay £120 million for a centre-forward. For a podcast. Based on Ronaldo's words, Pogba and Bailly should be sold if they're injury-prone. Cavani shouldn't have his contract renewed either. Yeah, kind of agree. I think that we need to get players that are fit. Pogba's also a little bit of a worry. I'd love to keep him there, but again, he's had some injury worries, and I think that that's probably in the back of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's mind. That look, Pogba showed coming on in midweek AC Milan, he's potentially our best player, if not up there with Bruno Fernandes. But he's another one that needs to stay fit. But I think that it's a different level to Eric Bailly. I think that his injuries have been different, but when he comes in, he's a world-class footballer. Eric Bailly is a very good footballer, but not at that level. Let's have a look a bit more at those. Lingard stayed in Manchester or going to West Ham permanently. I think he'll move on. I think he'll go to West Ham. I think he's doing well there, and I think that people mentioned the make weight for Declan Rice or something like that. I definitely would think that would be an option. Let's have a quick look more what you guys are saying. Navaguer on the free at the end of the season and spend the money on actual right winger. Just talks about injury-prone players. He's played 4 times for City this season. Not too sure about that one. I don't think that's the best idea. I think that would be more along the lines of an Owen Hargreaves kind of signing that went the other way, where he came in and hardly played for the other club. Let me have a look what else we've got. Do you think Rice is worth it? No, but we need someone. This is the whole thing. Do I think Harry Maguire was worth it? No. Did we need to make that signing? Absolutely. That's the thing at the minute, is that do I think any of these players we're getting linked with are worth the 100? City haven't signed players for more than 65 million quid, but they aren't in the push of they have to get that player. They aren't in that position where if we don't get that player, we're going to finish 6th. Because, look, this is the situation United are in. If we don't improve in a couple of positions, we aren't going to get anywhere near them. So this is So United need to act fast. You can't mess about. You can't risk the sign. You can't do what City did, where they signed John Stones. It didn't quite work for a bit. Then they signed Laporte, and then he got injured. It didn't quite work. And then they were umming and ahhing about it. So then they signed Nathan Ake. Then they signed Ruben Diaz. And then all of a sudden now they've got 4 centre-halves. They spent 200 million on them, and then they've got the best defence in the country. United can't do that. United signed 1, and if it doesn't work, it's a flop. That's the position United are in. We need to... The patience you need to show for Manchester United compared to Man City is completely different. What else have we got here? What signing do you think will happen? Look, I think we'll get one of these big names. I think that Ollie's going to prioritize. I think he's going to prioritize a striker. Who I think that'll be, I'm not too sure. I think there's going to be another striker we get in. I think potentially we get a centre half. I think a centre half and a striker will be his two big signs, and I think he'll sign some younger players in defensive midfield and on the wing. I think that's the kind of bit. But I don't think we're going to sign 20, 30, £250 million worth of players this summer. It's just not going to happen. This isn't a City challenge. No, you're right. But Manchester City have been doing the right thing for 9 years now, 8-9 years, and it's worked and it shows. That's the whole point. This is, City haven't done it. City haven't been better than us in 2 transfer windows. They've been better than us in transfer windows since 2012. That's why they're so far ahead. It's not about a short-term thing. We need to do it over a long period of time, and it may not work for a while, but you have to keep at this. Look, let's see. I mentioned this yesterday in the office and called Stephen Howson to have a drink. It was that. I said there's a very, very good chance that in my lifetime and your lifetime, Manchester United don't have a better squad than Manchester City. In the next 60 years, the Abu Dhabi owners are going to stay at Manchester City, and the Glazers will probably stay at Manchester United. We won't have a better squad than them. We may beat them. We maybe could get better than them. We've been to what Liverpool did and get 1 or 2 years where we just sneak ahead of them. But I really don't think we're going to get a better squad. We're not going to get a better squad. They're going to keep spending. They're going to keep getting better. And I don't know whether we're going to do that. And it's a worrying thing to say. And look, who knows? Who knows what United are going to do? I'm hoping this summer. I'm hoping they just stick with Ollie a little bit. I'm hoping they back him. I'm hoping they just push that boat out just a little bit more. They go over that 150 million quid and spend a little bit more and don't have to sell players. But sadly, I don't think that'll happen. Right, guys. For as much as the positivity I thought I'd bring you this morning, that is all from me. Never see United. I don't think that won't happen, but it would be a very good sign and potentially be a lot cheaper. Manchester United, I'd love to see doing better. Let's talk about what else we've got coming up on the channel. Myself and Jay Motti will be doing a little loan watch this afternoon and going through all the loans that Manchester United have at this moment in time. Look at those academy players, having a look at some of those academy results. That will be out this afternoon. Also, there'll be a late night show tonight with Jay Motti and Joe Smith, so make sure you're tuned in for that. Make sure you like this video and make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Like I said, I've been Alex. Thank you very much for joining me this morning, and I'll see you next time.